One thing to say to a guy, hey, your numbers in Ohio or Pennsylvania are really, really bad. It's another thing to say, you're no longer up to the job. That gets to a whole different, not a political level, a personal level. And for him and his wife, Jill, and his family to come to terms with that is going to be very hard. And
You have a lot of African American voters who are still with Joe Biden. They still want him to stick in there. We're used to seeing our leaders stumble. We're used to seeing our leaders be attacked by the media in ways that aren't fair, and we're slow to let go of somebody's hand. So I'm proud that the black grassroots is standing with Joe Biden. But the party's bigger than that. The donors are walking away. The best people in our party, the smartest people in our party are looking at the math and saying the math don't math. And so it's important, I think, that we recognize that this could be, this is the end game. One way or the other, it's the end game.
There was an AP NORC poll today that said 2/3 of Democrats want him to drop out. And that, yes, he's got stronger support among African Americans, but there are a fair number of African Americans thought that too. And it's a reflection of what they see.
It's not just that they're telling the president, you're losing Michigan, you're losing Pennsylvania, you're losing Wisconsin, you're losing Nevada, you're losing Arizona. You're beginning to put New Mexico in play? What? You're beginning to put New Hampshire in play? What? You put Virginia in play? Hello?
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has apparently privately told the president that the polls show he cannot win versus Donald Trump, and that it will get worse, that Biden staying on the ballot will somehow sink any hopes of Democrats winning back the House.
Kamala Harris is the only other option. Like, I'm just going to be completely blunt, and the fact that people are thinking, well, maybe we'll do like a 5-week sprint or debates or mini debates. There is one option. There's one option mechanically, from a money perspective, from a message perspective, from an operation perspective. There's one option for the absolute backbone of the Democratic base, which is if you pass the first African-American woman to serve as vice president, what do you think is going to happen? Like, it's insane.
Laura, I met with a mega donor yesterday, and this isn't just the president. He told Senate candidates in swing states, I will not donate to you until Joe Biden passes the torch. And I'm sure he's getting that feedback from others in the party, where if you're a swing senator, imagine having that phone call being told you will not get a dime for your campaign unless you get Joe Biden out. Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries are taking the concerns from their members to the president. The donor community has been closing ranks and sending the same message. I think that Joe Biden is going to do the right thing and step aside, because right now this is untenable. You can't run a campaign without money. You can't have a nominee that most of the party wants to step aside. I think 72% of Democrats want Joe to step aside. And one of the things we have to keep in mind is that there's going to be a ton of enthusiasm for the new nominee, because those voters do not want Donald Trump in the Oval Office next January. You're going to see, in my opinion, 8 or 9 figures of resources, not just from big donors, but from grassroots $20 donors, as soon as you have a new nominee to take on the Donald Trump J.D. Vance ticket. And they think they're going to win in large part because their opponent is an 81-year-old incumbent with a 38% approval rating. And that's what I think should change, hopefully, in the next 48 hours.
What do you think is happening in the next 48 hours?
I think that Joe Biden is going to be home in Delaware, and people are coming to him, and he's going to realize that the best thing he can do for the country, his legacy, the party, people that do not want to see Trump have control of the House, the Senate, the White House, and essentially the Supreme Court. So I think that we're going to have a lot of pressure come to bear on the president upcoming. I happen to know of another Democratic member of Congress where imagine a mini primary where the top 6 contenders show up for a debate or a forum. That will be must-see TV. Maybe it'll be on CNN, but the ratings will be sky high because everyone will want to tune in to see who's going to be taking on the Trump-Vance ticket. And the Democratic Party actually has many up-and-coming governors and other officials. A poll just came out that showed that there are 4 governors that are outperforming Joe Biden by 5 points in the swing states that are going to decide this race. So you get some of those figures up on stage, and then there'd be tons of excitement among everyday Americans that at least one of the parties has managed to move on from its octogenarian or near octogenarian.
Andrew Yang, we will see what transpires. You're saying 48 hours, but Biden is saying he's going nowhere. We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for joining me tonight.